today. Uh, Welcome. Today we'll be talking more of how to build a portfolio. We have been interacting each now and then. So, want to start our today's session on how to build a portfolio, like how to build a real portfolio even without no clients. Like you don't have no clients. So, you want to build yourself a real portfolio that will be showcasing your list of services. So, be with me till the end. If you are new, you may subscribe to my channel so as you may get some new updates as you follow for more. Okay, so let's get started. What is a portfolio? Portfolio is not just a decoration. Like a portfolio is a collection of it's a story of about who you are, what problems you solve through the design process. Then you think of it like this, like your portfolio. Like, what if someone can ask you, do you design? Is it that you do logos? It shows your command of layout, maybe your color, typography, concepts. Yeah. So that is how portfolio really works. Then second thing is not thinking. Like your portfolio shows your thinking, how you think. Like great design is not about visual, it is about decision. So you show you why you made certain choices in making those design, not just what you poster. It exists where like if you are like it simplifies your layout and artistic. Example, like two designers may create the same product page and corporate the right clients to find some quick creativity. Special profit. It show you're serious about the work. Like it all of that analogy. I mean, then a client is a hungry customer. Then your design is the dish. Then your story is the flavor. So you see those four things. Portfolio, which is the menu. The client, who is an angry customer. Then your design, which is the look pretty. They buy. Then thinking, your case. So client judge you by it. It's your social proof. Like your portfolio is your proof of work. So is it is the only way clients can either know you if you is your proof that your portfolio is. Imagine you are hiring a baker, someone who knows how to bake maybe a cake and or maybe something that requires baking. Then one baker show an Instagram full of beautiful cake. Then the other one say, "Trust me, I bake good cakes." Who will you hire? Someone who show an Instagram full of beautiful cakes, and the other one say, "Trust me, I bake good cakes." Who will you hire? Same with the designers. If you don't show it, you can't sell it. So it helps you to stand out. That's the second thing of you having a portfolio. I've already released my portfolio. I'll be releasing it online. So I posted it in my TikTok page, my Facebook. You'll be seeing, but I'll give a link so as you can be able to see the work that I've been able to work. So it's just like the designers. If you don't show it, you can't. Okay? I to one so as people to join as we continue slowly by slowly. We'll be talking more of how you can be able to build yourself a real portfolio. Like a real portfolio. I've been working on my portfolio. Now I've been able to release it out. So I'm happy. I'll be sharing the link so as you can able to see the work that I've been working on. I as a graphic designer has been so that my logo design, poster design, everything. So that is the importance of you start using a portfolio. Then it makes you to stand out. Design where you may see that hundreds of people are using Canva, some are using Figma, some are using different tools, different world. So why should someone choose you? When you place yourself like you are, your portfolio is like your CV, but your CV is a bit of old. But at the moment now, some workers you may see that some employees, some employers, they really consider you having a portfolio, something that show you your work. So your portfolio shows the difference between you and everyone else. And I like to use some relatable example. You may find that in halfway full of closed doors, your portfolio is that door open. Like in a halfway full of doors, like in a half full of closed doors. Your portfolio is door that is open on well, and at times it is inviting. So people naturally go to that one that look that they if can't that's what they can see. If they can see your thinking, your process of you creating something, your result, then they feel safe hiring you. So I like to an example from experience. When I used to share only my final design, some clients we felt that they still felt hesitated. Why? Because when I started showing my sketches, user research, and decision making, then some people clients began to say that, "Wow, I can tell you that you really understand what you are doing." Then they stop negotiating for prices for the value. If you can see my TikTok account, I've been able to showcasing from sketches, like the way I usually create the logo. I show my sketches, and that is what clients really needs because it really builds trust. Then the secondly, the fourth thing you can able to understand when you are building yourself a portfolio is you get control of your narrative. Like without a portfolio, people created their own assumption about you. Like people assume in a different way. But if you have a portfolio, like with the portfolio, it shapes your story. It really shapes your story. Like an example, if you are only showing some minimal posters, then people think you are a minimalist, like you are a minimalism focused designer. But what if even if you do work much more than that, like you don't show your branding work, then people they'll assume that you don't do branding. Your portfolio, okay. Then the another advantage, another importance of you having a portfolio, it opens for you opportunities. A strong portfolio. So this I've been telling myself on myth, the myth about the myth about this portfolio. So myth, we have been saying the myth number one, you need clients. So a simple project that so a simple project that show measurable impact fixes check why. So even a landing page, it's the tweak counts. Okay. So consider that. Get yourself some expensive projects and it will position you in a when you want to create like you need expensive projects. It is really wrong. Okay. Then the third thing that you need perfect designs. At some point, it fails. Like a case study is just a story, a problem, a process, and a solution. Like a case study is just a story, and not like it is just a story alone. Then we have the problem. You have identified your problem. You have processed a problem. You have find the solution of the problem. Then you have find the outcome of the problem. So remember that anyone can tell that story, but depth matters. It depth matters more than fame of the client. So how do you write a beginner-friendly case studies so as it can help you like getting yourself? You may find yourself a context first, like who was the user and what was the setting, like what was the setting. Then get the problem, what was confusing there. If you find the problem, then you may if the problem was slow failing, you may use some sense quotes screenshot or even some analytics if they are available. So those are the case studies. But if you're a beginner, then you must be able to identify these case studies. Then after that, you show us some process, the process you are the process of you doing sketching, the process of you doing user test, the process of you doing some iteration, explain the choices the as you make. Consider then the outcome. What is the outcome? What change? Explain the expected impact and why. The fifth myth, you need at least 20 projects. Yes, project really matters, but you don't need as many as this project. You may get yourself at least 4 to 6. As you can see, the portfolio that my portfolio that I've been working on, it included about 6 projects, 2 from logo design, 2 from mockup Picture project of my finished case studies together that show the ranges, that the branding, the logo design, user research, aim at add a short work, the gallery from some small samples. Maybe you may include the icon work really matters when it comes to positioning yourself in creating a portfolio. You must have a clear problem statement. That is why quality at times beat quantity, because of a clear problem statement. Like this is like you have some pretty images, pretty design. You have cleared some problem statement. Then you process yourself a single, like a simple, you process an evidence of what what clients are look for you if you are putting yourself into this. Clients they usually scan your portfolios quickly. CV, like they'll tell you that like a CV, but more modernized. So clients can ask one question: Can this person solve this problem? Can they solve this problem? So below are some. I'll explain to you 16 they look for what this business owner statement. You may include some rules and it has improved the analytics. You may include them in your portfolio. Action, like visual and direction, maturity, and a product. Build a small team. Then telling. This is another part of the client. They really want this. Makes them. They want a narrative that it will make them feel the outcome. This when it comes to you challenge your audience. Like if you use simple learning, you include part four, I'm doing the income, the outcome, sorry. Then the part five, I'm doing the lesson done when it comes to that. Then make sure that when you talk, it may add this your specialization. When it comes to the specialization, evidence you understand their domain, their industry, then the specific knowledge that if you have worked in a particular industry constraints, regulation in healthcare, accessibility in education, then those are the metrics that really work in e-commerce. Okay, yeah, consider that. Then what really clients need again is presentation. Like I've been able to working on my mockups. I've been work on at least two mockups for a book cover design and logo design. As you can see, I'll be able to upload that portfolio. You know what that I was been able to work on actual images, maybe devices or some digital devices. Okay, keep the case studies scannable, bold the problem, list bullet. Yeah, the other part we want to work on the myth about portfolio. So we want to get ourselves on types of portfolio. What are visual and case study? So here is a real example for each one. Plus, what your portfolio must include depending on your design discipline. The first one, freelance designer portfolio. Very common and you must have it if you're a freelancer. And how do you convince client? By showcasing that your portfolio. Can your portfolio solve a problem? Then, like if you present to them your portfolio, then that means that you can solve them a problem. Then that means that they are reliable to work with. Then this type of portfolio need a mix of visual and some context. Not too long, not too shallow. Enough to show. Like mine, I've been working on a 10-page portfolio. Yeah, starting from the home page that's follow up to 5, the testimonials. Then what else? The tools I use, my skills. As you can see, it round up to around 9 to 10. Then the final part of which says the thank you, or the final part of my design. So as you can see, it wrap up to around 10. So that is the freelance designer portfolio. These types of portfolio, it needs a mix of visual and context. Not too long, not too shallow. Just enough to show. It shows the problem, it shows the solution, the value you have delivered, and why you are the right person to hire. I like to use an example. A freelance designer who create a brand, like he creates a landing project. He create a landing page redesign. Like then the portfolio entry, it has to include before and after comparison. What after he was given, like after the designer was given the portfolio, what was it? Then after redesigning the portfolio, what was the main impact? Really changed that. Okay, you may include at least 3 to 4 statements explaining the issues. Okay, explain the issue. The customers were confused about the pricing option. Then after I was given the portfolio to redesign another way, another clear way, another clarity way of the clients to understand about the pricing option. Okay, then you must be able to include those final designs. Final design, very, very important. How fast communication may lead to a smooth project. So, does freelance designer it works? Okay, freelance they care about result. Freelance clients, the clients they really care about the result and reliability. They want to know you deliver contexts client want to see. Development, the brand usage being the second part of it. And a brand designer who shows a rebrand for us mood board, like you start with the mood board. Mood board it shows that it show you the early stages of your design. Then it comes to the logo iteration. Maybe you have some color tweaks when it comes to logo. Then you include the final brand colors and the typography you choose when it comes to that. Then after design, caps, those the brand. Why does it work? It helps the like brand. It helps them think visually. They want consistency and identity system. So case studies with quick explanation of decision. Heavily writing and focus on posters, social media content, some advertising, packaging, layout design, illustration, and mixed with into design. So writing may be optional unless you're applying for a job if you're a graphic designer, but you may still consider that, but really don't apply as much. So a graphic designer who is building a portfolio, maybe for an agency job, then shows that he shows about 10 to 15 visual pieces in a grid. Like he created a grid, the designer created a grid around that will include about 10 to 15 visual pieces. Okay, then it include 1 to 2 detailed breakdown for some bigger project to include the mockups, the billboards, magazine covers, social media ads, and at times even caps. Caps are being is the field that require more detailed and portfolio. It must show the thinking, user research, personas and the flows, then some wireframes. Yeah, those things. Like when you're a UI UX designer, it usually includes your case studies. Like So if clients after research, then there's a screenshot of some Messi original interface, then some user flow diagrams, some wireframes, some high fidelity. Yeah. So company remember that when you position yourself by having a UI UX company hire, they are thinking they that's why they require that portfolio to see how they think, the process in decision making, the result, and not just visual alone. Okay. Yeah, consider that. Then you have the fifth portfolio, which looks to be Illustrator portfolio. This portfolio is almost purely visual. Your audience want to see the style consistency, the range of subject, techniques, character expression, then some environment, texture, and color usage. So case studies are something like a campaign. So think about that. Then you have the six into motion design. Then when it comes to motion design, then it must include those reels, the video reels, not just a static image. Those video reels with some key components like reel to about 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds. Okay. Then you include the individual project breakdown, the storyboards, animatics, yes, things like that. Then the motion principles, timing, easing, anticipation, those things you must include. Then do not forget to render for motion graphics, for motion design. At times you may use Adobe After Effects. Yeah, consider that. Then a motion designer reels. If you are a motion designer, then you must include your reel must include the logo reveals, the animated ads, then UI animation, 3D animation, because of that portfolio that's in your either as a web developer or any field of interest. Do you have a a portfolio that showcases your work. You may give me as we proceed. Uh-huh. I want to proceed next as I wait for your responses in the chat box. Let's get us. Okay, how to build a portfolio? How do you build a portfolio? You don't have any client, then how do you build your portfolio? Some of the best portfolio designer, like some of the best portfolio thinking and creativity. So here are the most effective ways examples that you can copy, or you can use it as a not a must copy. You can still use them as an inspiration. But you may use this one as a source of copy or inspiration. You may choose whatever fits you. Okay. So as I've told you that great portfolios come from initiative. So how do you come up to build a portfolio from scratch? With detailed explanation, I will explain. You may build yourself a portfolio from rebrand of a dummy business or a fictional business. You may pick any type of a business and create an entire brand identity from scratch. This proves that you may be thinking strategically and visually. Change their logo. You may change modern or what you think could be. So that is a rebrand of a dummy business or a fictional business. Allow me to call it a fictional business because it is someone that is operating. A dummy one is a business that is not operating. You've just get it over your head, okay? Or you have been thinking of it that of a cafe. Cafe. How do you do? You may create a mood board, be it from morning, like that mood board. Then you design 3 logo options. Then pick a brand colors inspired by that sunrise shoes. Then apply branding to cover and you laugh. Or a dummy one for them. But as a fan, not as a hired designer. As just a fan, not as a hired designer. So what does this teach us? It teaches that you understand the brand voice, keeping consistently, then creative problem solving creative problem solving within constraint. Okay, example. Okay, I've been using an example of Nike. Like example, Nike is interact. So how will you do? Remember, you want to build yourself a portfolio. Add a smooth animation to the start run. When the maybe in existence, be able to analyze it visually and create something. So this teaches you practical thinking, user-centered design, and real-world observation skills because you have get yourself solving a problem that is around you. Then it improves the parking payment machine UI. It improves that. Then identify issues, starting with the confusing button, poor contrast, then sketch a. So the fourth thing, you may create a passion project. This is where you go wild. No rules, no client, no constraint. Remember that passion project are often the best performing portfolio pieces. And what this teaches, it teaches creativity, authenticity, visual storytelling, and some unique style. So designing album art for my, like you may get yourself designing an album art for my favorite artist. This is which is self-initiated. You may choose an album song, create illustrative or graphic album cover concept. You may add some typography element. Yeah. Then the fifth one is redesign challenges. How do you design challenges? You may join some monthly or weekly design challenges. This will give you a structure and help you to build consistency. Example, you may get yourself an Instagram reel design. You may get yourself a designer. This teaches us on like it teaches on the speed because there are given some ultimatum. You're able to design a project and able to deliver quickly. Okay. Then you may get yourself into community-based project. What am I saying? What am I meaning when I say community-based project? You may support a local charity, school club, or small business for free. I suggest a collaboration. This is the real world experience without waiting for a client. You are putting yourself in a community based where you can get yourself in the faster step, then as a stepping stone. Then you may position yourself next again. Then maybe they'll get to consider you next. Okay. This teaches a lot of communication, like the scope management. Then you are able to interacting and getting some experience in your area of specialization or in your field. Okay. Then you may get yourself example. You may create a brand identity for a local animal rescue. Yeah, a local animal rescue. You may create for them a friendly logo. You may design a poster for maybe adoption event, create social media templates, make a donation, make a donation for QR that landing page. It is real actually. It helps someone and get you a polished project. Then you may get how do you build yourself a portfolio from scratch, even with no clients. The seventh thing is all about reverse the engineer from this famous brand, purposes only. Consider this for learning purpose only. No stealing, no copying. Maybe from them. This is about analyzing how big brands like Coca-Cola, Safaricom think and trying to replicate their process. You try to replicate their process. This will enable you to create consistency, branding principles at high level, design languages and understanding. Eh? Okay. Example: how I reverse engineering and be UX pattern language. You may analyze their colors, their spacing, the shapes they use, then recreate a few screen, search listings, then the bookings. Then document what you learn about their design. Remember that this is a learning study, not affiliated with Airbnb. Okay? Just we are using some explanation so as can grasp a concept. Then let's proceed. How do you build that portfolio from scratch again? You may create some case studies. Creating case studies. Like case studies not for the final design on a page. A case study is a story of how you solved someone problem. And here is the exact structure. It is expanded in detail with examples at each step. Explain the problem and design clearly what was wrong, what was missing. You may include that what was wrong, what was missing, why did the problem matter? Okay, like there are some users who struggle to find healthy recipes quickly. So you must get an apps filter that was confusing and hidden. Then this set the stage. What is the goal of that? Your goal should be simple. Example: this goal was just to redesign the system so users could find the recipe in about under 10 seconds. So this show focus, then show research. Even if it is a personal project, research matters. It shows you how analyzed you are, how you place yourself in the competitive market, the trends, all those things. Okay, consider that. Then do not fit into the final design. Always attach your final polished visuals, logo, logo with branding, UI screen, yeah, all those. Then mockups. Don't forget about mockups. package apps, billboard, posters, store phones, and some UI animation. Okay, yeah. So let's get to the other part: storytelling in your portfolio. Like, story is everything. Your design is not about decoration. It's the evidence that you think like a professional. Anyone can combine colors and fonts, but a designer with storytelling can explain why these colors and fonts usually matter. So storytelling is the same as maturity. It shows that you are not designing for fun, you are designing for purpose. Remember that the clients hire you for thinking and not just the final visual. So imagine two designers create a coffee brand logo. Designer A, here is the logo. Then designer B, he said that the brand is a local mastery, is a local roastery in a small artistic neighborhood. Then he said that I used warm, warm, warm browns to evoke some comfort and a circular logo to represent the community and gathering. So even if the logo looks similar, designer B, because they explain their decision. Remember that the story design, a good design story answers the big question. To make a portfolio strong, each product should include answers to this: who is the brand? Explain the brand identity. If it is the visual, and who is the audience? Teenagers, parents, and sometimes the business owner. So design changes based on who understand it. So what the problem are they solving? Every brand has gaps. At times they have outdated visual and clear messaging, weak UX. Set the challenge so that the solution makes sense. Okay. Then show intention. Why are these colors? Why do you decide to use these colors? Be it calm, be it cool tones. Yes, consider that. Why did you choose to use this type of color? Why this typography? You may include those serif fonts. Maybe for maybe sharp shapes, everything geometrical that include that structure. Then remember to include before and after design. This is another one, is another part. Consider to include before and after your designs. Like clients love before and after example. They make impact in this, like they make your impact instantly and visible. Show the transformation. People know, yeah, all those things. It usually they all know. You do not. It's like unforgettable. It's not that. I like to use an example. You may take a female bank that show a new neutrals and the elegant type. Okay, the best for why they are good and for students, great for brand designers, illustrators. It has a huge audience. So you can get this discovered through Behance search. Through just Behance search. Example, a beginner can upload and makes project look polished. Then we have the second thing, Dribble, which looks to be for visual designers and micro values. Then we have Adobe Portfolios. It is great if you have Adobe Creative, it comes with the AI. It's great for designers. It is easy to build case studies. It has those flexible layout. Then the benefit of it, it is great for text-heavy case studies. Then we have the Figma, like the Figma is great for prototypes and flows. Wix and it is great for someone. He can do a website, then you pay him. It is more customization and it is SEO friendly. Then we have another one, benefits of using that WordPress or Wix. It is ideal if you want to look premium or run a business. It is great for visual designers, illustrators, or brand designers. Why? You get yourself to quick exposure. Visual first. The last, not the last one. Last one. Two are not the list. So how do you present your portfolio? You present a portfolio. Your home page is your handshake. A client is whether to stay or bounce. You must organize your work by category. Make navigation, branding, logo, the package, UI, UX, and then illustration. This helps clients quickly find what they need. You may use some clean mockup. Use professional, minimal mockups that highlight the design and not distract from it. Then limit the number of projects. Upload everything you have ever done. Maybe 4 to 6 strong project with some impressiveness. Okay. The common mistake. It's most not bad. Using big mockups. Good mockups. Good mockups that credibility. So people without explanation make it seem like you don't have a story. Make your work feel intentional. No real process shown. Only final image. Okay. That is incomplete. If you make the final image that is incomplete. Then you have to get yourself the wrong typography. Wrong typography. These are unreadable fonts or too many typefaces that make your site feel amateur. Then the confusing navigation, that if people can't find things, they will leave, because if they can't see how you have been able to come up with type of design, they will leave. Then using outdated work. If it is older than 1 to 2 years, that doesn't represent your current skill. Remove it. No contact info. The number one mistake, nobody can reach you always add an email, contact form, or link on your bio. So, how to make your portfolio stand out? Niche down. Client prefers specialist. You can choose look niches like luxury, brand design. Yeah, something niche down. Focus on one thing, or at least like I usually focus on logo and brand design. Then you may add yourself a personal. You may check for your portfolio of 3 months. Then remove the old work. If it no longer represents your current live stream and I and clarity, especially on how to build your portfolio even with zero clients. If you have got value today, like the stream, you may leave the comment and remember to subscribe with the designer. See you in the next live stream and keep creating. Keep creating you soon.